What is up, hotties? Welcome back to another episode of Stay Hot. I'm Blaiden Crookman, as always, by my two favorite co-hosts of all time, Matthew Spawnhour and Theo Ash. And it is, of course, brought to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm a little disappointed in my two co-hosts that this is technically our Halloween episode, and yet I'm the only one here in the Halloween spirit. But, you know, it's okay. We're going to have a good time. We're talking about our NFL Midseason Awards, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year. For those listening on, like, Spotify and stuff, Theo's drawing a mustache on his face right now with a dry erase marker. And then, of course, we'll wrap things up with the Stay Hot Locks. It'll be a fun time.
And for the audio listeners, what are you, Blaiden?
Lead here.
For the audio listeners, I'm dressed up as one of the greatest characters in fiction, Darth Vader.
Fucking Disney, bro. We got black Darth Vader now.
Darth Vader wasn't created by Disney.
I know, I'm joking about woke. That's a good Darth Vader costume. Did you have to assemble the mask? Like what?
Dude, I used to have, when I was a kid, I used to have the sickest Darth Vader costume of all time. Like, the helmet was like fully enclosed. You had buttons on the front. It was like electronic, so you could like make sound. It was like a full like Darth Vader costume. Like, I could have been in the movies, dude. It was that.
You've been alive 24 years. You've seen 24 Halloweens. How many of those Halloweens have you been a Star Wars character?
A lot of them.
A lot. Would you say more than half? More than half.
I would say more than half. I would
say you were probably like a pumpkin or something like that when you were 2 and 3 and that type of stuff. And the second that you were old enough to pick out your outfits, I'm guessing
the first time I saw Star Wars in theaters would have been Episode 3. So it would have been like after like my 4th or 5th birthday. Yeah.
You guys can't talk about the times you had together before you knew me. I get FOMO.
Yep. Okay, well, we just started being conscious.
The mask off now so that I can actually like hear and talk. But
Matt, did you dress up for Halloween? It seems like you might be above all that.
Dude, well, I'm not above all of it. It's kind of the other way around. It's a little bit frustrating. When I was a kid, I got tall a little bit quickly. And I remember when I was like 12, people were like, enough, you know, you're not 12 or whatnot, which I'm not even someone to say what the cutoff is. I feel like 12, if you're in middle school, it's still pretty fair game. In high school, freshman, we start having the conversation, but, no, I've never been
dress up. It's just like,
I've never been a big costume guy. I went to something the other weekend that was a Halloween thing, and I have like a mechanic jumpsuit that's, you know, I like those ones that kind of walk the borderline, and I don't love to put a ton of effort into it, I won't lie. And then somebody was like, where's your mask? Like, you're not Mike Myers. Like, this sucks. And it's like, that's not what I was going for, but you can see. And they just stared at me like I did something wrong. So I've never had like a good
holiday.
Yeah, I've never had a good experience like with a costume or whatever, particularly. It's always been really, really
1 year
tough.
on Stay Hot, you were the Pope.
I was the Pope.
That was good. That Pope was great.
That was
a great costume.
My best costume ever, I was a stop sign when I was like 5 years old. I don't think I ever got past that.
That's a good one. I think we got to start simplifying the costumes. I think that's the way to go. I was really thinking about being a pumpkin the other weekend. I thought something simple like that, kind of a throwback to when you were a toddler or like 1 year old, but then it became time to like put it together, and of course I'm not even going.
I think the classic costumes are just your classic Halloween baddies, like zombie, vampire, mummy, ghost. I really don't think you can get
Mummy would be great. Nobody, you can corner the market on mummy right now.
Yeah. Like, I think my favorite costume was just a zombie costume that I did when I was in college, and I just ran a bunch of clothes like through a lawnmower and then smeared them in mud and then wore them and painted my face like white and messed up my hair, and it just was like, it looked good. It was authentic to Halloween. It's hard to beat just the classic monster.
I think my girlfriend and I are going to do a pretty good couples costume this year. We're going to a little costume contest at like a bar down the street. We're going to go as Goob and Goob from Meet the Robinsons. We're gonna like young Goob and old Goob.
That's become
So-
very popular recently. People are
Has
really
it?
into
Has Goob
Goob.
become?
Well, it's because
Has
it's
that
a
become-
TikTok.
I've seen a lot of Goob
Oh
posting.
no, it's a TikTok.
It's a tick trend. Yep. I'm sorry. I
Cool,
hate
you're
to
gonna be a
break it to you.
TikToker, man. Nice.
Me when I'm a TikToker for
If
all
I
of
hadn't fallen asleep, I would have caught the ball and the team would have won. Do you understand? You haven't heard that? You haven't heard people mouthing that?
I mean, I've heard that from the movie. That's from the movie.
It's a really popular TikTok audio now.
It is.
Oh.
It is.
Oh, no.
This is honestly a spoiler, though. I didn't know, like, I've only seen Meet the Robinsons, the trailer from another disc that I had.
You've never seen the movie?
No, I've never seen the movie. I've just seen the trailer for another movie that I had. And I didn't know that Goob, the young kid, and the main villain with the mustache, much like I'm wearing now, is the same guy. I didn't know about that.
It's
backstory.
mid-eats, if I recall.
Mid-eats?
Good movie. I liked it. What do you...
It's fine. Name 10 things you like about it.
Name 10.
It's like over an hour long. It shouldn't be.
But yeah, that one, I'm trying to remember what movie I had where Meet the Robinson was prominently featured in the trailers, because I watched this one all the time. I watched the Meet the Robinson trailer at least 50 times as a kid. But I still think your costume can go hard, even though it is a TikTok trend. And
No question.
it'll be better than my costume because I don't even have anything yet. So
I'm sure you'll figure it out. You've got plenty of time, like 48 hours.
I got 48 hours.
Want to talk about football?
Sure.
Let's talk about these awards. You know, we're at the midway point of the season, and, you know, MVP race is very hotly contested right now, but maybe we should save that one for the end, bury the lead a little bit.
Why don't we start with Offensive Player of the Year, actually?
Yeah?
I've
You
got
think it'll be
JSN. I do. I think the idea that Taylor is running away with it is a little too much for me. I think he's a totally worthy pick, but I haven't heard a good argument that he's separating himself from what JSN is doing this year.
I think it would be crazy if we came out of this season and Jonathan Taylor didn't win any awards. Like that would be mind-boggling to me with the type of year that he's having.
JSN's having a great year too, no?
He is. But Jonathan Taylor's on pace for almost 30 touchdowns.
Sure.
You know, he's putting up quarterback numbers.
Yeah, but you can't put up 30 touchdowns as a receiver.
Guess.
You can't really do it as a running back either. I think with JSN here,
It's way easier to score touchdowns as a running back.
it is, but I mean, there's receiving touchdowns records and there's rushing touchdown records, and Taylor is going to threaten for one of those, and JSN is not. You know what I mean?
Well, JSN's going to threaten for the receiving yards record, which he's currently on pace to break.
Someone's on pace for it every year, though. At this point, like,
Well, okay, well then if I'm supposed to judge JSN based off of him like not keeping pace off of a hot start, then I have to judge Jonathan Taylor off of the same, right?
I think JSN is a valid pick. I do.
I think Taylor not first in rushing yards per game.
Is that Cook?
It's
That's
Cook.
is it Cook now?
It's
Yeah.
I
Cook.
thought it was Bijan.
That doesn't surprise me. Cook has been on an absolute heater, and just had 200 versus the Panthers. I think what makes it a little bit different for Taylor is that they are the number one offense, and they are the best record in the league. And there's just a lot of stuff going in Taylor's direction here. Like, okay, he's not first in rushing yards per game, but he is first in rushing yards total and touchdowns and broken tackles and rushing first downs. And he hasn't lost a fumble or anything like that. And they played the Broncos, which are this top defense, and it was, you know, a signature game from him, like over 120 yards there, huge upset victory. Like the all encapsulating weight and gravity of his season, I think, is a little bit more than what JSN has got so far under his belt.
I completely disagree. I think that's ridiculous. So if the Colts' passing offense was worse and their offense wasn't number one, that would affect Taylor. I would make the argument that the Seahawks not having a good running game actually makes what JSN is doing more impressive. Is that unfair?
Because he's carrying them like to a level that, as much as a wide receiver can carry a team, JSN is doing to the Seahawks right now.
Sure.
I agree with that. I
don't know. I almost feel, Theo, your argument serves better towards Taylor's MVP case than it does for his Offensive Player of the Year case. But I also do agree that, like, I think both players are very I mean, dude, JSN has 11.7 yards per target right now. That is absolutely absurd. Like, having over 10 is impressive. He had 8.2 last year, 11.7 and 117 yards per game. Yeah, I mean, it would be a very deserving 15.7 yards per touch this year. I don't know, man. I still lean like Jonathan Taylor for me has to come away with something. And I do think
but like, JSN doesn't. I can't agree with that.
My thing is, like, Jonathan Taylor to me is a very legitimate MVP candidate.
He's not. He's not
with
the
numbers that
player,
he's putting up. I don't think he would win it right now. We'll get to MVP in a second. But like, if I'm saying that he's like third in MVP, if I would put him at like third in MVP voting, then to me he's the Offensive Player of the Year.
Sure. I disagree that he's that high in MVP voting, genuinely in his value, unless you want to say that it should be most outstanding player, which is a case I can get behind. But even then, I have an issue with it because I don't think his season is separated from JSN's in any way. I think it is purely that the Colts are good and that running backs have the favor in getting yards. It's easier for running backs to get yards. The best running back season will outgain the best wide receiver season.
I think the thing with Taylor, though, is just how much better the Colts run game is than the next best run game. It's not just that the offense is good. It's like this run game is more than just keeping the team afloat, treading water while the pass game does most of the work. Like, this run game is by far the most efficient in the league. And Taylor, except for on a per game basis, Cook is ahead of him now, but man, Taylor is still number one in every category. And just
but like
the home runs that he's hitting, the big plays, like there's just every single week it feels like he's scoring a touchdown for the team, like with someone unblocked in the hole, right? Then he goes 50 more yards, like the amount of just long ones that he is ripped off.
I think there's just as many plays where he's set up for a huge gain by a great offensive line. That does not ever happen for JSN. JSN does not get yards that way because he's a receiver. It's different. I just think this is the Colts offense is better than the Seahawks, which is true, but I don't think that's like just exclusively because of Taylor. Imagine making the same argument for MVP, where if like, I don't know, let's say some of these years past where Mahomes has dragged the terrible Chiefs, we always take into account the fact that he has bad receivers. And if he gets them up to a certain level, we say, yeah, that's really impressive. Why should we literally do the opposite and give Taylor more credit for being on a great offense? And Taylor's having a great year, and we're only 8 games into the season. If JSN loses pace and Taylor doesn't, it's Taylor, no question. But if JSN breaks the receiving yards record for a wide receiver, I think it's him.
If he goes for 2,000, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's also first in yards per route run for the record.
That just hasn't happened yet, you know? And Tyreek Hill, I mean, he had 902 yards through 7 games.
You guys just said that Taylor was on pace for like 30 touchdowns.
He is, but like, I feel like with the touchdowns and with the rushing efficiency for the offense and with everything, like Taylor's season has been a little bit more impressive. I mean, he's somebody that you can give the ball to and he'll make the defense miss. Like, he will legitimately, look at the Titans game, like the tempo and the pacing, and it's not just huge holes open for him all the time. Like, there is a defensive back right in his way and he escapes out the back door, makes somebody else miss, and then like rips off 10 more yards, right? Or he goes the entire 50 yards for a touchdown. It's not like these are all like goal line scores here for him. Like he is, I don't know, man. I think this running back season is pretty unbelievable. And I know that JSN's is as well, but I just don't think it rises to the level of what Taylor has done. I mean, Tyreek was at 902 yards through 7 games. Adam Thielen was at 822 through 7 games. Julio Jones has been at 812 through 7 games. Cooper Kupp was at 809 through 7 games. Like, this is the type, we've seen this type of stuff before. I don't think that we're necessarily watching some sort of historic
we saw historic running back season literally last year. We saw a guy break 2K and he didn't even try every game. They took him out in the last one. You know what I'm saying?
But he won that award.
Sure, but you're making a point of how rare it is.
It's rare you see a rushing offense this efficient through 8 weeks. Like I don't know if I've ever seen someone separate, like, and not with Lamar Jackson, right? And not with Josh Allen, and not with these quarterbacks that have proven to be huge gravitational pieces in their run game. I know that like Daniel Jones can move a little bit, but it's mostly like get under center and we're handing it off to Taylor, and then there's like a boot on the backside, right? And Taylor is just picking his way through it. I don't know. I'm a little bit more impressed, but JSN has zero drops this year, 819 yards. So he's right up there with the Julios and the Cooper Kupps and the Tyreeks of the past. Like he is right there, but I don't know if he's elevating the Seahawks to quite the same level that Jonathan Taylor is.
I don't think Taylor is elevating more than JSN is.
I can't prove it. I don't think.
I mean, the last time we saw a running back have a season comparable to Taylor was probably McCaffrey in 23, and then Taylor in 21 the year before that. And then, I mean, it's the list of running backs that went for 2,000 all-purpose and 20 touchdowns, right? I mean, those are the seasons that you're comparing him to. There's 13 of those.
Yes,
no, there's 14 of those all time.
What did Saquon get, like 18 touchdowns because of the tush push or something like that? Who cares? That doesn't matter at all.
I'm with you there. That the touchdowns, I don't know if we totally have to reward, but I think I'm Taylor here. He has been. I think that he is a primary reason why they are so good, and why they are literally the best offense almost in history. I mean, going back to the 2000s, since like some of these advanced analytics got tracked, since like true media goes back till, like, this is the number one offense in points allowed per drive, or points scored per drive, more than the 2007 Patriots, more than the 2013 Broncos, more than some of these Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And Daniel Jones is having an effect on that 100%. And I think everybody takes each other out of like the MVP race, but like being a cog in that kind of machine, like literally the best offense ever talks, is more important than being a cog in just like a pretty average offense, all things considered, an average good one, right?
I'll be real with you. I don't care at all how good the Seahawks rushing game is. So that doesn't matter to me even a little bit. I would make the case that if the Seahawks have no rushing game, that makes everything tougher on the passing game. I also think it's a little unfair to be like, well, you have to think about whether or not JSN's statistical start will pace over the course of the season, which is fair. Let's be real. Probably won't. You know, you could say that, yeah, oftentimes a guy's on pace early, but we're just judging guys off of what they've done so far. It's midseason. We're saying who's our midseason award winner. And if you do that for JSN and you say, well, he probably won't keep that pace up, fine. But then you have to do that for the Colts offense. Odds are any hot start is going to cool off and the Colts don't finish with like the most statistically impressive offense.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll end up number one, but they might end up top 10 all time as an offense. And the Seahawks are the 9th drop back EPA team right now. And if JSN is a better wide receiver than Jonathan Taylor is a running back, like, I don't know. Would he carry them to, a top 3 finish in passing EPA, a top 5 finish? Because that's not where they are. Whereas, but
Colts Taylor isn't carrying the Colts rushing offense. That's the issue. He's great. I think a worse running back would get worse results. I don't want to ignore his impact. And like, I'm more on the pro running back side currently than not. But just because the Colts rushing offense is better than the Seahawks passing offense does not mean that Taylor is carrying more than JSN.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's interesting.
JSN is on pace for the most receiving yards in NFL history in a single season, and he leads the league in yards per route run. He's done it on 70 targets right now. It's pretty incredible. I think look, Taylor is having an amazing year. He's right there with him. I have no issue with that pick, but I lean JSN right now, man. I think his impact on Seattle, you're kind of underestimating. Without him, I can't imagine that they would have a very successful passing game at all. He's been ultra consistent. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Sam Darnold coming into Seattle. Like, is this situation even comparable to where he was in Minnesota last year with Jefferson and the offensive line? And JSN, I think you can say, is more than kind of filled the shoes or filled those expectations to give him that really dominant wide receiver one. I will also say, if we're talking about just effect on the offense, JSN success rate 57.1%. Jonathan Taylor's only 56.6%. So JSN does have the higher success rate.
And like, I don't know, James Cook has had a bye. If he hadn't, he would be the leader in rushing yards right now. Sure, like Taylor's got him at the moment, but it's because he's played an extra game.
Yeah. But I think Taylor has done more to create his own yardage than anybody else. I mean, he's at 60 avoided tackles so far this season. I mean, Bijan's at 40, and that's second place. And Saquon's at 36. Like, Taylor's at 590 yards after forcing a missed tackle, and Cook is at 477. Javonte is at 425. Like, per attempt, that's still Taylor number one. Per game, that's still Taylor number one. He has more explosives. Like, it just, the extra game, Cook isn't getting there. And you could say the same thing about Puka for JSN, who's missed 2 games, or I guess 1 game, as opposed to he's at the bye and then the injury. And maybe the injury knocks him out. But I mean, Puka is having a more.
No.
Nah, maybe not.
Nope. JSN.
He's breathing down his neck as close as Cook is to Taylor.
No, Jason's got him by 15 yards a game and has him in yards per route run.
I will say
Jason's got him.
The precedent has been sort of set in 2021. Jonathan Taylor led the NFL in rushing yards. I'm pretty sure he also led the NFL in he led the NFL in scrimmage yards and scrimmage touchdowns. 2,100 scrimmage yards, 20 touchdowns. Second in Offensive Player of the Year voting to Cooper Kupp, who had 1,900.
He won the Triple Crown.
Receiving yards, 16 touchdowns.
And JSN isn't going to win the Triple Crown. He's got no hope at that, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
and maybe that first off, the touchdowns are finicky, of course, but like, Jamar Chase has 99 targets through 8 games. So, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess JSN's 20 catches down to Jamar. He's a game behind. It would be pretty difficult. Yeah. He's just not, like, you need to get spammed with targets for that, or you need nobody to, and it's tough.
I don't know if he would need the Triple Crown though. I think
the Triple Crown is impressive, but it's also like incredibly situationally dependent.
Right. You need to get, force fed too.
You need to have like a certain type of season, and you can get lucky and get one. So
I think breaking the receiving yards record would be enough though to win. I think breaking the record is more impressive than having a 2020 touchdown season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think Puka is still there with JSN. I think
Sure.
I think Puka is
how
still
far
very
behind
much
is
here in this.
Puka?
Well. Now, what are we arguing specifically here? Are we arguing who would get the award now, or are we projecting?
Because we are arguing who would get the award right now.
Then Puka's just not. He just doesn't have him quite. He's close. I mean, we could do all this talking, and in the next 2 games, JSN could go quiet and Puka could go crazy, and that changes everything, right? Like, but I could say the same thing about Jonathan Taylor. I think Taylor is probably a little bit more likely to win it. I think JSN keeping his pace might be a little bit less likely, but I'm judging off of what they've done so far. I've got JSN.
Yeah, I've got Taylor. I think JSN is clearly second, and I think Puka still has something to say on this, and possibly James Cook as well. I mean, James Cook is ridiculous. I think that he is having a more impressive season, just point blank period season. Like, no value tags here than Allen is. I think he's been the best player on that offense so far this year. Like, the level of, again, just patience, always finding the crease, never getting tackled for loss, like working his way through all the traffic. Him and Taylor, I think, are the 2 best at it right now, and those are the 2 leading every rushing category. It is crazy how good both of those guys are at just maneuvering the chaos around them, and just getting what they can out of every run. And then Taylor and Puka or Puka and JSN, like, it's just crazy how smooth those guys are and just how good they are in every single aspect of playing receiver, going over the middle, kind of complementing some of these under center play action heavy games, right? Where it's like, well, you kind of got to block sometimes, you kind of got to dig things out over the middle, you kind of got to be tight to the line of scrimmage, and they just do all of that while being just complete acrobats downfield. It's nuts. It's nuts, their levels right now. So it's a great race, but I'm with JT right now. I think I'm moved by just how good and just how historic the rush game as a whole is. And I know it's not all him. I know that, but it's a lot him. It is a lot him.
I've been meat riding Jonathan Taylor all season. I feel like I have to go with him. But
go with Taylor. There's nothing wrong with going with Taylor.
I will. James Cook is the only running back in the NFL right now averaging 6 yards per carry.
It's nuts.
Yeah. I feel like more running backs average 5 than they used to.
I think that could be true. I mean, we're still kind of in the fallout here of just the read option era. And I think about Kaepernick and some of those Harbaugh teams when it just seemed like that was the thing that was going to take over the entire league. And I don't know. I feel like that must have been a turning point for run games when people all of a sudden realized like just how important being able to put the defensive end in conflict is, and like how unfair that is. So since then, I'm sure it's you go back to the era when they were just handing it off and the quarterback wasn't doing much to add on to it. Like, there's no way there was many running backs averaging 5.
There's 11 this year. We'll see. That's not. I tried to go back to 2005, but most of these are like guys that got 1 touch. They don't sort it by.
Tough.
Anyway, that's enough Offensive Player of the Year discussion. Let's talk about Defensive Player of the Year. Tell me why it shouldn't be Myles Garrett, man.
There's a lot of guys who are close with this one. I mean, I think there's Anderson and Hutchinson and I feel like there's somebody else I'm forgetting. Benito, Burns. There's a lot of guys. I will say Garrett, he's got 11 sacks right now. He's very high in pressures. He's like second in double team rate, and he's like second in win rate. I think the mix of that gives it to him between the actual sack production and like sort of, I guess, the advanced stats favoring him a little bit. And just like the eye test of Garrett having kind of a 1-of-1 impact. I lean him, but I don't feel confident that any given game one of the other edge rushers could pull away. So I'll go Garrett, but I think it's very close.
Yeah, I mean, he's always going to be that furthest most right up guy in the pass rush win rate in double team. chart, he's currently tied for the leader in sacks with Brian Burns, and he's also the leader in tackles for loss. And then, yeah, man, he's also got twice now this season where you've got like reaction clips going viral of people watching Garrett just abuse offensive tackles, and not even guys who are considered bad players, right? I mean, the Patriots held their own against like TJ Watt and Crosby, and then they go against Garrett and he gets 5 sacks on them. They ended up winning still, but it just shows there is clearly a gap between him and the next best.
Yeah. The only reason I can think of like not to give it to him is like he probably wouldn't value the award that much. Like the thing is so just a piece of tin to him, who has won so much and accomplished so much in terms of individual defensive accolades, right? And everybody knows that he's the best, right? And you see him like freaking out on the sideline because they're losing and being like, I'd trade my 5-sack performance for a win. Like, is there a risk you hand him the DPOY award and then he just like throws it over his shoulder, just gives it to somebody else? Like, he's at that level of a defensive player where it's like, why am I not, you know, why don't I have my hands on the Lombardi trophy? Like, I don't need another one of these. Like, would he truly value it?
He's only got one of them, man. So I don't know.
He's only got one. I don't know. He's
going for that GOAT pace. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I don't know. It just feels like he's on his ungrateful for award type vibe right now. I don't know. Do you feel that from him, Blaiden? How do you think he would react to getting the DPOY? Do you think he'd be honored and grateful?
I don't think he would be ungrateful. I can understand maybe him not being super stoked, because you're right. You would probably rather have a Super Bowl. But at the same time, and I've seen people talk about this a lot, like the pouting on the sideline, or like slamming his helmet down. He's like, I'd rather have a win than a 5-sack season. Brother, you signed the contract. You didn't have to be here.
But he would rather have the $40 million
and that might
any of that other shit.
That might be what takes him out of Defensive Player of the Year, is him signing that contract with the Browns. Because it's like, bro, you could have made a real impact, and instead you're basically throwing this away.
He has. He has put the Browns by himself in positions to win multiple games. I think you can argue he has made a huge impact for their.
But when he signed with the Browns, the ceiling level of games he can win is 5, right? That's
he can take the Browns out of the first overall pick for sure.
Yeah, he can take them out of the first overall pick. He's actually hurting the team in terms of long-term value.
Their future.
Whereas a guy like Will Anderson or a guy like Micah Parsons is legitimately helping his team.
Yeah,
accomplish their goals, whereas Miles is actually sabotaging it. So that is the only thing I can think of, because Garrett is the best defensive player on the planet, and I don't think anyone would even argue that at this point. Like, even the TJ Watt diehards who are still holding out that they're on the same level, I feel like that's got to at least, they've got to say we fought a good fight, and it's still true for all those years.
Fighting the TJ Watt fight here?
I don't know. Maybe
2 or 3 years ago. I could
cinematic argument. It's not so much now. So if they've given up, then I don't think there's anybody on the planet who would say Myles Garrett isn't the best defensive player in the league this season. It's not a corner's year. It's not a linebacker's year. It's not a defensive tackle's year. It's an edge. And well, is anybody outpacing what Garrett has done? Like, no. I watched a lot of Reggie White this offseason. Myles Garrett is every bit as good as him. Like, there's no difference really between them in terms of how they're able to just physically overwhelm offensive line. Like, it just doesn't work guarding them over and over and over again. Like, this guy is going to be in the GOAT conversation if he keeps it up. And this is going to be one of his signature seasons. So, like, yes, give it to Garrett unless you think like you want to give it to somebody on a better defense. And in that case, give it to Will Anderson. But there really isn't that much of an argument against Garrett as deserving to be recognized as the best individual defensive player in the sport right now. Like, I just don't know who else you would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the argument, but I mean, you would argue that, Garrett probably did win it the first time because the defense was so good, right? It was sort of treated like a defensive MVP award. And maybe in that case, you're like, well, the Texans are number 1 in defensive EPA per play. They're number 4 in success rate. I wouldn't be opposed to giving it to Anderson because of that. And same thing for the Broncos. The Broncos are number 1 in success rate, number 7 in EPA per play. So I think it'd be perfectly fine to give it to Anderson.
Anderson is nice. Anderson is super nice. I mean, Houston, 14.7 points allowed per game. That's the best mark in the league by a pretty good margin this year. And they've done it on a pretty difficult offensive schedule of offenses. So they are just by far the best defense in the league right now. Like if there is one team that can go into a playoff run and just get carried by some Legion of Boom ass situation, it is them. It is them 100%. And we've seen Anderson like these last 2 weeks blow up the 49ers game and really keep them in that Seahawks game when he had the strip sack, fumble recovery all in the end zone, right? He's an amazing run defender. And he's really as productive as any non-Garrett pass rusher. Maybe not quite as. There are guys with more hits. There are guys with more pressures at this point. But there's no doubt that Anderson is the central piece. And if he can get more like kind of big splash plays like that fumble touchdown, and if he can, and what a lot of these awards are about is just showing out in big games, like nationally televised games. Like if he can have a couple more feathers in his cap there on the best defense, like I could see the argument being made, but it's tough to say anybody but Garrett right now. It's really tough. That would be my vote. I'd just putting Garrett, whether he likes it or not.
They'll play Buffalo on Thursday night here in a few weeks, week 12. That would be a huge chance to really try and solidify yourself as DPOY there. But yeah, I'm taking
Garrett. You want to move on to Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Are you at Garrett, Matt? And
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Unanimous Garrett. Let's go. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Got to be a Buckeye, right?
This is where I win Colts fans back. They were mad at me. I understand, but they should not have reacted to that anger because I've got Tyler Warren as my Offensive Rookie of the Year, not Egbuka. Obviously, like it's super close and you don't know how it's going to go. I'm not predicting anything, but Warren is really not that far behind him in production despite being a tight end. And I think there's something to be said for him. You know, maybe he benefits off of being on a good offense at Sarah, but he leads in yards per route run while being a tight end who can contribute as a blocker more than Egbuka does. To me, that gives him the edge. If they finish close statistically in terms of the receiving game, I got to go Warren. And Warren's just been a beast using his size, not only after the catch, which, mind you, like he's one of the best after the catch tight ends in the NFL right now. No question about it.
Yeah.
But as a route runner too, like doing a good job being physical and creating separation that way, or just being an easy guy to throw to because of his size and his ability to box dudes out. So I got Warren.
My argument for Egbuka, Matt, is actually going to be very similar to your argument for JSN, where it's like he comes into this Buccaneers offense, everyone's hurt, and you're not really sure what it's going to look like as far as the passing game goes. What kind of Baker are you going to get this year? And all of a sudden, Egbuka just comes out and is like, no, I've got it. I'll put it on my back. He's top 10 receiving yards right now as a rookie, 562, 16.5 yards per reception, which I believe leads the NFL right now, along with 5 touchdowns, which is also incredibly high up there. And he's had so many big time catches.
That's true.
Fourth quarter game-winning drive plays.
Yeah.
He's had so many of those this year where, I mean, he has been such an impactful rookie out the gate that I find it hard not to give it to him. But Warren would also be a great pick. I mean, he's the number 1 tight end in terms of receiving this year. So
I would say that Egbuka's case has benefited greatly from entering a situation where a bunch of the other receivers are hurt, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't think that's hurt him. I
don't think it's hurting him, but it's impressive that he was able to just step in right away.
I agree.
And
I think Warren stepped in right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt
I
about
don't know.
that.
I mean, they're both really good. I could see it going either way. But if Bowers didn't win it last year, man, I don't know if Warren's
Well,
getting it this year.
what do you think about Dart's
I just
case?
Dart, just a little bit too up and down. I'll say this first off. Bowers not winning it last year had nothing to do with the fact that a tight end can never win it. It had to do with quarterbacks having a massive advantage. A tight end has just as much of a chance at it as a wide receiver and a running back, which is you can win it as long as there isn't any quarterback doing anything crazy. I think Ward has been fine, but like you can't statistically be that terrible, even if it is like it just doesn't work. Dart has not been a consistent enough positive for me at this point. I feel like I've liked him more than I did pre-draft for sure, but has he really been better than Warren or Egbuka? I don't think so.
Not close.
I'm sure if he continues to play the rest of the season, he'll continue to have like some good moments and some bad moments, and that alone as a quarterback will probably put him in the race, if not winning it straight up.
In Vegas,
and he's the favorite. But he's the quarterback, you know, but based off of what they've done so far this year, like it's Warren and Egbuka over him, not even a question.
I would agree with that. I just feel like they've just consistently performed like one of the top players at their positions, whereas Dart has had his ups and downs. He has not consistently performed like a top player at the position, although he has turned the Giants' season around. Like the offense is much better with Dart than with Wilson.
No doubt.
So like the fact that he came in and gave them a spark. I mean, again, if you're thinking from a value standpoint, like, are those up and down moments more valuable than what Warren or Egbuka brings to the table? Maybe you could say yes, but my heart's not in saying yes there. My heart.
It's not the MVP, there. And if it's not the MVP, then I'm not doing the value.
And I'm
stuff.
not sure that Dart
even
is.
If it was the MVP, when you look at Daniels, when you look at Stroud, when you look at like a Herbert or like those guys were all getting talked about as like their top 10 quarterbacks as rookies.
Yeah.
Right. No one's even considering Dart as a top 10, or at least I'd hope not. Right.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if Dart in the games that Darts has started, I mean, he didn't do much in the Chargers game to be like considered an elite quarterback, I'd say. Saints game, just kind of bad. He started out good and then started throwing picks, and then they lost. That's the only time the Saints have won all year. Broncos game, he was playing really well again through the first 3 quarters, but it was a really direct reason that they lost that game.
Yeah.
And then this most recent game against the Eagles, again, very up and down with just some really head-scratching plays where you're like, that's just horrible quarterbacking. Like that is.
So I feel like
for all the good, there's some horrible there. And I've never looked at Tyler Warren and said, that is horrible tight end play, Tyler. That is awful. And it's making me pause. Or Egbuka, like that's horrible receiving Egbuka. Like Dart, there's been plenty of good, and he's better than Russell Wilson, and he's definitely the most important rookie. But I don't think that.
I don't know if he is, man. I think Egbuka might be more important.
maybe. I don't know. I haven't made my call.
Where would you rank Egbuka among receivers and Warren among tight ends right now?
I think I'd rank Warren higher among tight ends than Egbuka amongst wide receivers. I really do think that Warren has a case to be the best tight end in the league this season.
Dude, he's insane. I mean,
I think it's Kraft. I actually think it's Kraft, but I think it's Warren.
I like the Kraft pick. I mean, Bowers has been banged up, which has been tough.
Exactly.
But it does come down. The issue with ranking the tight ends is that more so than other positions, it comes down to like, what flavor do you want? Because tight end is this in-between position. So I know with Bowers can do things that Kraft can't do just because of like the way that the type of body they have and their play style.
Yeah.
And we can argue about what's more valuable. It depends based off of the offense. So it's a little bit harder to compare, I think, than maybe quarterbacks or running backs or wide receivers. Sure. I think Warren is definitely top 5. And I don't think Egbuka has any type of argument to be a top 5 receiver right now. Although I'll say the top receivers are just so good. And I don't feel the same way about the top tight ends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's less tight ends, right? Like there's 32 starters, and then each receiving there's kind of a trio of guys because most teams are in 11 personnel most times. The Colts are honestly one of the teams who are not like that. I guess my strike against Warren would be like, I feel like he's a bit more of a gadget guy than Igbuka is, a little bit like the kind of is a movable piece through the backfield. He sneaks out a little bit unaccounted for and like has a ton of separation when he catches passes. And
sure,
is he as crucial? Is he as important to the Colts as Igbuka was to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers early in the season when everybody was going down?
I think that gets back to impact though a little bit too much in my personal opinion. And if I'm not going to do that with Dart, I'm not going to do it with Igbuka. I see what you mean. But being unaccounted for, like being a check down who is in one of like the hardest to deal with after the catch, players is really valuable and it's really tough to deal with. So I don't think that's necessarily a negative, but I see what you mean.
Yeah. I would agree with you there, Matt, because it's like if you have, I mean, as a defense, you've got Pittman blanketed, you've got Downs, you've got Pierce, you've got all these guys accounted for. Well, who you don't have accounted for, the one guy that can break your defense left is Warren. I do think that is a value add that's hard to come by. But I still think I'm leaning Igbuka here. He's been so good so early. He's everything we thought he would be. The perfect receiver, the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, he's cooled off a little bit here recently, but I just think Baker can't quite hit him. And it's
a couple of things. To be fair to Igbuka, he's had a hamstring issue. Like that's one of those things where it's like he was in the game, but I don't think he was 100%. I can't say like, well, I'm going to give him 53 extra bonus yards mentally because of the injury or whatever. But I do think like that matters. And then, there was a game where like Baker's just missing every throw. That makes it tough.
Yeah, these last 2 weeks, he's been missing Igbuka a lot, and that hurts all of Igbuka's efficiency numbers. I mean, he's been targeted 21 times these last 2 weeks, and he's only caught 7 balls. So that doesn't necessarily. He's at 3.9.
That's true, but then a lot of the catches
the week before that.
A lot of the catches Igbuka had were like these, like not super crazy separation, sort of money rocket throws from Baker. So and I think Warren's probably had some moments where something like that hasn't gone his way, or it's been something short and someone's missed a block. So it's tough to get into the minutia of that. I've got Warren.
I think I'm going to go with Igbuka because I think a lot of the numbers aren't his fault these last 2 weeks. I think it's been hard for him to put up those numbers. And I'm thinking about that 77-yard touchdown versus Philly, Blaiden, and some of these game winners. I do think that the Bucs are where they are, in such a large part of that is because of Igbuka. So I'm going to lean him, but I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm very uncomfortable with it over Warren.
It's tough.
Let's see, but
it's tough. But yeah, I'm taking Igbuka.
Colts fans can get mad at me.
No, you took JT. And Igbuka, and then
Colts fans, that does nothing for you, by the way. To
Colts
get
fans,
angry.
we are now dead even here on this.
You can recognize the emotion, but
the Colts are getting the Offensive Player of the Year, Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tyler Warren, Coach of the Year, Shane Steichen.
It's possible.
They'll get what's the Assistant of the Year?
Anarumo. Yeah, I could see
Anarumo. There we go. And then they'll get Executive of the Year for their owner just being on the sideline taking notes. Because I was what was it? Was it Brett Coleman that tweeted out that she's got like a PhD in psychology or something?
I have no idea.
I think it was Brett Coleman that tweeted that. But anyway, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who you guys got?
I still got Campbell. I think he's just been in a big role and his coverage has been fantastic. I know he had like a weird game where like Dean came back and then they're trying to like have him do nickel stuff or whatever. And like he didn't get as many snaps because of that. I listened to Fangio talk about it, but I just think like having a guy like him in coverage is super, super valuable. I feel like none of the pass rushers have really separated themselves. And I mean, Carter, I know statistically is better than everybody else in terms of pressures, but I don't think he's like so crazy dominant at this point.
Does he have
where
a
it's like
sack
you
yet?
have to. He's got a lot of pressures. He's got like a fair amount of pressures, though.
For sure.
And the sack game is fickle.
It is. He does have
level.
0. He has 0.5 sacks this year, which would make handing him Defensive Rookie of the Year a
That'd be
little
tough.
bit dicey.
I mean,
but we got to take our heads out of the calculator a little bit there, I think.
I just think Campbell's been a beast, man. I think his coverage and just his ability to get downhill and make quick decisions is kind of all translated pretty quickly.
I'm giving this award to JSN because none of the defensive rookies have actually locked in enough to deserve hardware when one of those two offensive players is walking home empty-handed.
All right, I can respect that.
So JSN wins Defensive Rookie of the Year in my book. No, but yeah, I agree with you. Like, there's
the issue with Campbell, honestly, is not that he hasn't like done anything impressive. It's just that statistically, like being a great off-ball coverage linebacker does not lend itself to any particular stat going super crazy. That's Campbell's issue as much as anything. And then also, I think Schlesinger being pretty good as well, and you know, this sort of coverage a little bit lighter, like flying around type of that has not helped because it means that Campbell, I don't think, is standing out quite as much. And I think Schlesinger is within range of this too. He's been awesome. But I'm thinking about just
giving. I'm thinking about giving it to Schlesinger.
Go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like if no one's really saying Campbell is the guy that I'm like he's probably standing out the most. He's probably been the most impactful, but I do think Schlesinger has really stepped into a role where it's like it's difficult shoes to fill with JOK not being there. You've got to be the primary sort of tackling force in this linebacker room. You've got to be the one flying downhill, making plays behind the line of scrimmage, making plays in the run game, blowing up screens. And he's been doing a really good job of that. And I kind of think he's got more accurate instincts than JOK. I feel like JOK was out of position more often than Schlesinger is. And maybe that's just like recency bias, but that's just like what I've been feeling through these first 8 games of him playing for this Browns defense. The other side of it is, of course, the Browns defensive line is a lot better, and they've got, you know, Jim Schwartz, who's a master at like scheming things up to be sort of perfect for his linebackers to make these types of plays anyway. So I could understand going Campbell here. I think I am going to lean Schlesinger and just give the Browns 2 awards here. They're going to be awful. It's the least they could do is come home with 2 pieces of hardware.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But,
and you'll go JSN, Theo.
I'll go JSN. Another name that floats through my mind is Xavier Watts, and I haven't watched the Miami tape, so maybe things have fallen off a little bit, but I mean, he's got 2 picks this year, including one that really sealed the game versus Washington, and this is still the best Falcons defense that I think I've ever seen. I mean, again, having not watched the Miami tape where they just got embarrassed by a terrible team. They are currently, let's see here, they're, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're still top 10 in defensive DVOA. They were 6th last week, so they've taken a bit of a hit. And they are especially good versus the pass over the run. So I feel like when it comes to Watts, he's played a big part in sort of this funky sim pressure, like zone blitz type stuff that they've been running with Morris and Ulbrich, like those 2 kind of mindsets coming together and making something pretty great. I think that whole Falcons rookie class of defenders has been particularly like pretty good at turning the franchise around again, maybe up until this point. So maybe I'll give it to to Watts. He's been good filling the run. He's been good on special teams. He's been good making plays on the ball. I just feel like he's done a little bit of everything for a unit that has certainly surprised me this year. So I might go with him.
Watts, I don't hate that at all, actually. Will Johnson's another guy that I would maybe consider. I know his early, like the first few games of the season, he was making plays left and right he was blowing up screens. He was locked down in coverage. I think he had an interception called back. So I know his numbers have been really good this year too. Arizona's been kind of awful to watch as of late. But Will Johnson is another guy that I would consider. So I'd be down for Carson Schwessinger, Will Johnson, Xavier Watts, Jahad Campbell as like a top 4.
Yeah. This is definitely the muddiest one. Like, holy cow, somebody's got to lock.
Someone's got to lock in.
Yeah.
What about?
I'm looking at
player of the year.
Comeback player of the year. I think I would give it to Daniel Jones here.
No,
no,
it's Aiden Hutchinson.
From being bad award.
You're right.
Yeah, it's Aiden Hutchinson. The coming back from being bad stuff.
I don't hate that. I really don't hate that, though.
I hate it. No,
it's most improved. It's supposed to be the injury stuff. I mean, it changes the award like completely. Like it's like no, you're making the award entirely different.
Are you making it worse though?
And
I think they should just be 2 different awards. Like if you're going to have a most improved player, then have a most improved player.
It's happening too much. You know, it's like every year there's a quarterback who does this now, at least on some level. Sometimes they don't even like Flacco or whatever got it.
Yeah.
And then, Baker would have gotten one.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
dude, yeah, right. That it would disproportionately,
and then it would always go to a quarterback. I mean, I guess it goes to a lot of quarterbacks now. Look, Hutchinson had a
non-quarterback hasn't won this award since 2017.
That's insane. It's every award. It doesn't even, at least with the MVP, there's an argument for it. I generally agree. If it's going to be most valuable, it's got to be QB.
Sure.
I've given up on that. But like comeback player of the year, only the quarterbacks are coming back. Nobody else deserves it.
Wasn't this the same year? It was like Mahomes MVP and offensive player of the year. And then.
Yeah, I do think that happened in 2018, but it's gone Luck, Tannehill, Smith, Burrow, Smith, Alex Smith in 2020, Joe Burrow, Geno Smith,
Alex Smith,
Joe
Flacco would have been valid,
and then Joe Burrow and
Alex Smith was totally valid. I agree.
Alex Smith was extremely valid. Geno and Flacco were 2 guys who were coming back from nothing, right?
It should be a little bit more biased towards like the guys who are coming back from the worst injuries. It's
true.
mostly supposed to be
what happened
like, hey, dude, like you know, like Alex Smith. I remember it was between him and it's like Big Ben, right? And I think Big Ben was like a better player at that point. It's a little vague, but like it's about the fighting through adversity there to get back on the field. Now, that's not to say if you have nobody who had a particularly bad one compared to anybody else, and then it's like, just some like really tough one, like the dislocated ankle or torn Achilles, and it's like, then you can go off production. I don't have an issue with that. But honestly, Hutchinson had a brutal, hard to look at injury and has come back and has instantly been a tier 1 edge rusher again. It's been huge for the Lions. And maybe the impact part of it doesn't matter that much, but the fact that he suffered a very bad injury, came back, and had no ramp up time before becoming himself again, I think that's more impressive than just about anybody else. Although I would like to say Nick Chubb, even like, I wanted it to be Chubb at the start of the season. That's who I was rooting for, because you would have figured that he was about done. Whereas Hutchinson, you're like, he probably can get back in it at some point because he's younger, but it's Hutchinson. I think there's no question.
It's definitely Hutchinson. I'm watching a YouTube video as we speak called 10 Nastiest Injuries of the 2024 Season That Made You Want to Gag. And Hutchinson is number 1 here on this list.
Yeah.
And he's also very productive. Like, we should have probably shouted him out during the DPOY section, but
I think we said Hutchinson's name.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Yeah, I think those two things combined, I am with you. I'm off. I don't know what I was thinking there. Sorry, guys. But it is Hutchinson. And where can I put my Scatabo
Yeah, no
prediction
kidding.
in right
next
now?
year.
He's already got like the nation behind him before the season even started. I mean, like if he does anything other than average like 3.3 yards a carry, like if he can just be all right coming back. And to be fair, brutal injury, man. So I wouldn't have an issue with it.
James
Coach of
Conner
the-
could too.
Yeah, I could see Connor.
So, but yeah, coach of the year.
Coach of the year.
This is a tough one.
It's a competitive one. I think it's Steichen. The Colts were not supposed to be a contender whatsoever this season. And the only thing that stops people from saying, and this myself included, saying that like they're the favorite to win the Super Bowl is the fact that it's just a little hard to believe and you're scared that you're overreacting to how good they look. That's it. If you want to talk about what Steichen's done specifically, it's turn Daniel Jones around and hire Lil. Two amazing moves that have completely changed what this team is. Shanahan getting it done with the skeleton crew is incredibly impressive. I can't say that doesn't deserve a lot of credit, but I mean, I'm trying to think of other times that I thought a team was going to be bad and they turned into a legit contender. Not like a team that was good, not a team that like went on a little bit of a run in the playoffs after having a pretty good season. I'm talking about like a legit contender, because that's how the Colts look right now as of the recording of this video. And I guess the Bengals back when they made the Super Bowl comes to mind.
For sure.
I didn't think they were going to be any good that year.
Through 8 weeks, those Bengals didn't look like this. Like, they didn't look like this. Right? That was the 2021 season. And
yeah, if we're judging it just off of this, like, the Colts look like the best team in the NFL. They look insane.
Yeah, the Bengals were like 9th in offensive EPA per play. Pretty good, right? But the Colts are first, right? By a lot. They have the best record.
They would be the best offense of all time, right?
They'd be one of the best. Yeah, they'd be maybe the best offense of all time. And yeah, like the Bengals were good. They were no doubt way better than I thought they would be, pretty famously. And we know how that season ended, and they probably will. They got pretty damn close to winning the Super Bowl. I mean, if it wasn't for that holding penalty on Wilson, I think they would have done it. So I don't know if the Colts will end there, but at this point, they're more impressive than any other team that I thought was going to be bad, for sure. So I'm with you on Steichen. The play calling has been pretty much immaculate. I feel like every single player has been maximized for his role. Like, the guys who need help are getting help. The guys who can handle one-on-one are getting one-on-one. Like, the perfect calls are for every zone defense are always there. Like, everybody's always putting conflict when they should be, and man beaters are called when they should be. It's just so smooth. The play calling is so good. You don't have to deal with any bullshit like, why is Alec Pierce not getting deep balls? Why is Josh Downs not in the slot? Why is Jonathan Taylor not getting the ball like as much as this backup? Like, why is
Warren not getting good opportunities?
Why isn't Warren getting that? Like, all of it is just like perfect. It's just so well orchestrated. I'm with you. Shanahan comes to mind, but I think I'd give it to Steichen.
And like, if I don't know, if Shanahan really like got this team like to the playoffs or got them the division, while Bosa and Warner and like no one got out, it's like I can't be mad if he wins it because it's just so insane. But for me right now, it's Steichen.
Yeah, where are the 49ers in the playoff race right now?
I'm sure they're 5-3.
They're the 7 seed. They're the 7
seed.
Okay. They're the 7 seed.
I think the Colts being the 1 seed, though, like literally the 1 seed in the league, is more impressive.
No McDonald? Yeah. No love to McDonald?
I just don't know if he's doing anything better.
What's his case over Steichen?
Steichen, right? I can see even like Vrabel getting a shout, just because I didn't expect the Patriots to be 6-2 at all. I thought that they were going to be pretty bad this year.
I didn't think the thing is that I don't view the Seahawks as like a tier 1 contender. I don't view the Patriots as a tier 1 contender. I view the Colts as like a tier 1 contender right now. And if you had asked me preseason, to be fair, if you'd asked me preseason how I would rank those teams, would I have said like definitely the Colts are the best of the three? No. I wasn't like crazy high on any of those teams, to be fair. I guess they're the big surprises, but
yeah,
I think I thought the Colts were shot with the Daniel Jones stuff, and it has worked beautifully. You got to give them credit for that. It's a beating expectations award. That's the only thing that matters. As of right now, the records are comparable, but where the teams actually are isn't. So I got the Colts.
I do think the Colts are going to come away probably with Coach of the Year, the way things are going. And I do think Carly Urseg Gordon is going to also win Executive of the Year.
Is she the owner?
I mean, that was the transition.
Do they give it to the owner?
I don't know. But like,
I don't think they can.
But she's so involved in the team that I can't imagine. I don't know. Like, she's had her hand in and people were like super critical of
I just
her,
don't think
like,
counts as an executive. Like, I don't
Does she not?
I don't think so. Like, she's not like Jerry Jones. Chris Ballard is still around, you know?
I guess she's not
like, she's there on the sideline with the headset on, like, getting an opinion on who her coach is and who her receivers are and who everybody is, right? She's getting a feel for those things, but I don't know if she would count as an executive in an Executive of the Year vote. I don't.
Maybe not.
I think she wouldn't. Since she owns the team. Like, would you give who owns the Chiefs? Is it still the Hunts? Like, Clark Hunt? I don't think he's going to win Executive of the Year.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't know.
not. I don't know. I guess she wouldn't care if she won a Super Bowl.
I wouldn't care if I had $1 billion. He got a bit. He owns the Colts. It doesn't matter.
I owned an NFL team. I think that might be.
You don't need any more recognition from that. You are playing above the field that everybody else is in. You can't get fired. She can't. No one can fire her. So it doesn't matter what award she wins or what accolades she accumulates.
I guess that's true.
Chris Ballard could get fired at any moment, and so winning an award would.
I don't think there's some like, well, the Colts are having a great season, so we have to give them awards. Well, do they have the MVP? Do they have the Offensive Player of the Year? Or do they have a lot of guys who are close to those awards? Because you could be a great team either way. You don't actually have to be at the one. You know, the idea that like a team being good enough, they must have their guys reach the number one. It doesn't work like that. It's a huge team. How good your bottom 10 starters are matters just as much, you know, or matters a ton, but that doesn't help you in awards at all. That being said, Coach of the Year is kind of the ultimate team award in the sense that it's like you were way better than we thought you would be, and we're giving your coach credit for that. That's what that award says. They'll be in the running for 2 more.
I was thinking about head coaching when I was looking at I was watching Deadliest Catch, and there's the captain of the boat that like puts everybody on the crab spots, and they're like, and Sig is like, I never done this in 30 years, but there used to be crab, and now it's known as the kelp fields, and like, and all they catch is kelp, and I'm like, all right, that's the football equivalent of like. I don't know. I was like, there are coaches who have made the football equivalent of that move, and they went fishing in the kelp fields and caught only kelp.
That just sounds like the equivalent of the Cleveland Browns, man.
They went to the kelp.
In the 40s, there used to be crabs here. And now for the last 80 years, it's been kelp.
But the deckhands matter. You know, they're the ones actually doing all the work, but it is the guy up and deciding what they do that maybe deserves the credit for the entire ship, you know. So currently the Colts have caught the most crab. I don't know. I'm losing this analogy.
They've caught a lot of crab.
They've caught a lot of crab. Taylor's caught a lot.
Some soft shell crab.
Crab is good. Some sushi, but some I don't know. Do you ever get sushi from like the grocery store? Do you ever mess with that stuff?
I've never had grocery store or gas
station
sushi.
It's fine.
I don't think gas station sushi is real, but grocery store sushi is real.
Yeah. I'd also say those are on 2 very different planes. It's okay to get food from the grocery store, I think.
Hottest take ever delivered on this show. It's okay. Grocery store.
It's okay.
All right, let's move on to
Let's do MVP. It's the last one.
MVP. All
So
right, you've got a couple of options here. You could give it to Jonathan Taylor if you wanted. You could give it to Patrick Mahomes, Drake May, maybe Dak Prescott, probably not at this point, and then probably Stafford be the last guy.
I think May has a really, really good chance at this. Like, I crunched some numbers before this pod. May is accounted for 78.3% of the Patriots' total yardage. 78.3. Mahomes is at 77. Baker is at 76. Stafford is at 72. Daniel Jones is at 68. All right, so May is 10% more than Daniel Jones. Like, he's and as far as the guys I looked at, maybe they
have a bad run game.
They have a bad run game.
It's the second worst run game in football, behind like maybe the Raiders.
Yeah, they have a horrible run game, and they're 6-2, and their offense as a whole isn't bad. And May is just completing so many passes. Like, he's just been so dead accurate to every level of the field. And Kayshon Boutte is playing at a really high level this year. You know, like, it's not like their weapons have been bad, but it's not like there's anything like, oh, well, he's throwing to Puka. He's throwing to,
right.
You know, he has Andy Reid as his play caller. He had, like, they're a bit more of a low profile group, except for May. And May is legitimately just taking them so far. Like, he accounts for just so much of what they've done. They're the second best dropback EPA team in the league right now, behind Green Bay. They're tied. Yeah. They're second in dropback success rate too. Like, numbers, impact. Like, he's on a rookie deal, so, like, in terms of outperforming your contract, in terms of surplus value, Dre is literally the most valuable player in the league. If you're looking at this from a bourgeois owner
I'm confident you could get some high profile retweets if you said something about that on.
Well, I was thinking about this
everything
earlier.
App right now.
You know who the real maybe surplus value guy is in terms of bringing value to the team? Who should the real MVP is in terms of profit and shareholder value is Kelsey.
Ooh, because of the
Travis
stuff?
Kelsey for MVP.
Travis Kelsey. We've got to.
I like that.
Think of all the surplus value he brings.
Think of all the shareholders, man.
Think of the shareholders. If they could vote, Travis Kelsey
that would
and
be
Drake May would be 1 and 2.
You need to make that video and be very dry about the way that you deliver it and see what the comments look like.
Yeah.
You're going to be in Travis territory for a minute.
I would legitimately be interested to know that if Travis Kelsey does have MVP type financial windfall these days, like, if he got traded to the Panthers, Matt, how much of a boost would that be compared
low-key,
to
I think
Drake May?
No disrespect, I low-key think no one would give a shit at all if Travis Kelsey was on the field.
You might be. You know what? I think I agree.
That's my team, and Kelsey's my guy. But, like,
the two of them are not mixing. You don't think?
It's not like what would happen.
Taylor doesn't go to a single Panthers.
I mean, like, Taylor. The part of the reason why the Kelsey stuff works is because he's on, like, the dynasty, you know,
yeah,
and, like,
right.
You tune in and Mahomes is there. If he was catching balls from Andy Dalton right now, like, Swifties are not tuning into that, and rightfully so.
They don't care that they're not repping Panthers Nation. Yeah,
He'd
you're
never
right.
be on prime time, where he's on prime time like all the time right now. So I don't know if that would work. I agree. I think I lean May right now. Frankly, I think it's between him and Mahomes, and I think neither of them have really separated themselves in any meaningful way. The thing that gives me pause about May is that the schedule has been easy. Yeah. They've played some really weak teams. Now, I guess on some level, you know, the Browns' defense is overall pretty good, right? Yeah. But I would consider that an easy game.
He did get sacked 6 times in that game.
Yeah, he got clobbered, and he's been getting clobbered all year. He's one of the most clobbered quarterbacks in the league at the moment, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he up to 30 sacks now, or is it?
He's at 28. He's second behind Ward. But he has taken significantly less. Wow, this is crazy. Okay. Drake May, 28 sacks, 114 yards lost on those. Cam Ward, 34 sacks, 268 yards lost on those.
Does those count all the time where the ball goes flying backwards out of his hand and it's a fumble 6? Because that's happened many, many times.
I have no idea, honestly.
So it's probably even worse for
How many times
Ward.
is many times?
Twice? That still counts.
And that's probably too many.
That's too many. That's two more than what May has done off the top of my head.
So
I mean, he's the most accurate quarterback in the NFL right now. If the season ended today, he would have the highest completion percentage of all time.
I guess I might lean May. I'm a little frustrated that I didn't predict the Patriots to be better. Because I had the formula and I just didn't believe in it enough. But you know what has exactly happened? It's that we all were big May guys and we just didn't really take it into account enough. We didn't want to overextend in the prediction. We're like, we're big May guys, and we think he'll be great, but he's just one guy. And it's it's too much pressure to say he's going to go crazy, because if May wasn't an MVP level dude right now, that type of guy, or if they didn't have May, the Patriots offense would be unimaginably bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not only carrying the passing offense in a way, Kayshon Boutte's having a good year. Yeah, Diggs has been a pretty good ad for them, but these aren't. There's no Drake London. There's no Justin Jefferson. There's no JSN. Right? This is a pretty normal, below average, I think many would say, receiving group. And on top of that, the rushing offense is terrible. He's the most efficient runner on this team. We're basically one game away from him leading the team in rushing yards.
Yeah, he's been huge as a rusher too. That's been a very big part of his game. So, and
that's probably why he's taken so many sacks is the times where he's tried to run and he's ended up being sacked.
But Mahomes is Mahomes. I mean, even I know he threw a couple of interceptions last night and or the other night and whatever.
And one of those was a really bad ball. The first one was.
He was trying
but he
to
still ended with a really elite EPA number.
Yeah, it wasn't a great throw, but I thought it was a good play by Lattimore.
It was a great play by Lattimore, and they didn't punt until the very end. So these picks, honestly, how about a bad throw on third down? It leads to a punt. That's something that isn't as embarrassing. It's not something that knocks you out of the MVP race 100%, like a pick does in a national TV game. But ultimately, it kind of does the same thing, And it's with Mahomes, it's he had those picks early. One of them was his fault. One was totally Kelsey's fault. That hurts Kelsey's MVP case, Matt. And then after that, they just scored. So it's I don't really know. And he ended with more often than not, the passes he attempted were hugely beneficial for the Chiefs more than they hurt them. That's what the analytics say. So I don't really think that game hurt his MVP case when we look back at this towards the end, and the Chiefs might not lose another game all year. We're not going to be well, that quarter one pick for Marshawn Lattimore. I don't think we're going to be saying that.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe not.
So that's the awards. Do we want to get into the Stay Hot locks real quick?
Hold on. Wait.
No.
Who did you pick May?
Yeah.
May.
My fault.
I played.
Yeah, I'll take May.
I think I will go with Mahomes, even though I started out saying May.
Because if you go, in the long run, probably going Mahomes on this type of stuff is good, but it's not predictive. It's reactive.
It's not predictive.
And the Patriots could end up not losing a game for the rest of the year too.
I
don't think they're going to go 15-2.
I feel better about that with the Chiefs.
Falcons, Buccaneers, Jets, Bengals, Giants, Bills is tough. Ravens is tough.
Yeah.
Jets, Dolphins.
Yeah, that is so easy. And May does have the easiest offensive schedule in the league so far.
Yeah.
So
that's why I predict he'll cool off, but I do believe he's a great player. I don't think there's anything too crazy phony about it. If I had to predict who's going to win the MVP, I'd say Mahomes. I gotta lean Mahomes here, but
What about
I think
Herbert?
as
Do
of
you,
right
do you
now.
think that Herbert has any case? Because
Sure.
yeah, I think he's still in it. They're not an impressive team statistically, and that is what is going to kill him. Like they're
Well, they play the
12th in
Titans, so.
passing EPA.
That can change.
They're 12th in success rate. Like they're not lighting up the scoreboard with some sort of historic offense that's so well oiled like the Colts. But he's under pressure, just an outlier type of amount. Like he was pressured. I looked it up earlier and I didn't write it down. But I think he's the only guy pressured over 100 times this year. Yeah, he's attempted 111 passes under pressure this year. And he's the only one under 100. That's an outlier type number. And he's just been handling it. And he wasn't on your top sacked list, Matt. That I noticed that when you talked about May and you talked about Ward, they're getting sacked more often than Herbert is under less pressure. I feel like he has been in a situation where like he is the team. He is the team. Their pass rate is the highest in the league. He's got no offensive line blocking in front of him. Like this is detrimental to his health playing this season. Very much so. It is hard sledding. This is as tough as of an assignment as it gets if you're a quarterback, I think. And yeah, he's leading the league in passing yards. The team is in the playoffs. I wouldn't count Herbert out of it yet. I think
if we're talking about guys who you can't count out of it, then you get certainly way deep. I think
Herbert's top three. How about that? Not even just you can't count him out. I think Mahomes, May, and Herbert are your three best bets.
Okay. I don't hate it.
So anyway, that's all I wanted to say with some Herbert glaze, of course.
Little Herbo action. Let's get into the Stay Hot locks, though, brought to you, of course, by our good friends over at FanDuel. So you already know I've been putting my money where my mouth is, these Stay Hot locks, and I've netted $0.
Big time.
But I haven't lost anything either, you know. So we're breaking even right now. Theo, you took the lead this week. You locked the Bills and the Patriots. They both got their dubs. You are at 9 points. Matt, you came into this week with 8 points, locked the Colts and the Bengals. Cincinnati let you down against the New York Football Jets, Jets, Jets. And then I came in to this week with 8 points as well. I locked the Chiefs. They got a win. I locked the Buccaneers. They got a win. I also locked the Atlanta Falcons, and they got belt to ass by the Miami Dolphins. So, Theo, you get to decide the order here. How do you want to do things?
Oh, let's see. I think I might want to go first here, and I think I'm going to take the Ravens over the Dolphins on Thursday night with Lamar back. I think that's what I'm going to go do. And yeah.
And then I guess I'll go second, and I will probably take. There's a couple of teams. I will go the Chargers over the Titans.
Okay.
That's probably
that leaves me with the swing and an incredibly beautiful and possibly free back-to-back here. There's a 14-point spread game. The Rams over the Saints. I will take that. And there's a 13-point spread game. Green Bay over my Carolina Panthers.
13 points? That's a big spread for that game.
Dalton looked really bad, I will say.
Okay.
Fair. And like the Panthers 4-3, like we don't got to get into it.
They're the 9 seed, Matt. Well, you're not getting
I don't think it's crazy, bro. I won't lie. But they're 500. Who knows? Maybe they get scrappy. But I'm going to take those two.
Nice. So I come back here. I'll take the bye week against the Browns, and
fair enough.
I'll take the Lions here over the Vikings.
I like that one.
I will take the Colts over the Steelers. I know the Steelers. They still have a winning record, don't they? 4-3.
I think so.
So maybe that's a little bit dicey.
I don't think it's a bad pick.
I don't really think the Steelers defense is stopping what we've mentioned frequently, the best points per drive offense of all time. And then I guess I will take. They might not punt. I'm going to take the. Should I take the Patriots over the Falcons? I mean, that wouldn't be a great bet before last week, but after the Dolphins game, like I might just say it's free to lock against the Falcons.
Who's playing quarterback this week for Atlanta?
Let's see. That's a good question. Atlanta,
if it's Kirk Cousins,
yes,
you should lock. You should lock the Patriots if it's Kirk Cousins.
They're optimistic that was he'll return.
Yeah, if it's Penix, I could understand it still, but their offense won't be like literally incompetent.
Yeah.
It's not quite as free. But yeah, you do whatever you want, Theo. I won't. What am I doing?
I guess I'll go with that. Sure. Yeah, I'll take the Patriots over the Falcons.
I'm going to be out.
Okay.
I'm going to be out as well.
You want to take another, Theo?
Maybe.
Jags over Raiders?
Jags over Raiders. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. I respect it. Like,
wow. That's probably better than Falcons losing to the Patriots. My 2Q one that I'm thinking about is Chiefs over Bills, but I don't think I'm going to really do that.
That's way too cute.
Cool.
That would be that would be the
one of the cutest picks you've made yet.
That would be the cutest thing.
Yeah.
Anyone's ever done here at Stay Hot.
Okay.
Well, actually, didn't you lock the Ravens over the Bills?
Yeah, I should have won too. I should have fucking won. I might also do the Bears over the Bengals.
I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, I'm winning. I'm feeling good. You check. I'll add Bears over Bengals.
God.
All right.
Dude.
Go crazy.
Go crazy. Yeah, give me the Bears, give me the Patriots, give me if it all hits, yeah, give me the Jaguars, give me the Ravens. Like, come on now. The Bengals, the Raiders, the Falcons, the Dolphins. These teams aren't sending me upset.
Okay. I can't. If your locks hit and both Matt and I's don't, you'll look like the genius. So
wait. Hold on. We didn't do an award.
What award did we not do?
Protector, bro. Protector of the year.
We didn't.
We didn't do Protector.
You're right. And I was literally thinking about that earlier too, and I just completely forgot.
It's a hard one to pick. It is a hard one. But I think if we're going at this from not overthinking it and not like trying to play the semantics battle, it should be Quentin Nelson.
I can get behind that.
I don't hate it at all. I mean, they feature him in the run game so much. Like if you were to make a cut up of his polling, it would be as impressive as anything else from the offensive line world. The other guy is Sewell. I think Sewell legitimately is having one.
Yeah, he had that rough game. That's who I picked when we did our quarter, and I'm not sure my opinion on that has changed too much.
I could also hear out Miners. He's been really punishing as well.
Yeah. I think I'll go Sewell. I think I'll stick with that. He hasn't done anything that makes me think otherwise.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Nelson.
I'll also go with Nelson. I just feel like he didn't have the Parsons moment, and he's been just as good of a run blocker, I feel like, paving ways.
Fair.
But, I mean, Sewell's been ridiculous. I did a video earlier where I added up the EPA gained on runs behind Sewell, and in just a game, it was 12 points of run blocking, right? Like, he scored 2 touchdowns just run blocking in that game. And I don't know what it was at, but I know there was another touchdown that basically he had in the Buccaneers game too. That long one from Giz, like just ridiculous double teams. All year his run tape has just been, it's been better than Quentin Nelson's. It has been better than Quentin Nelson's. And the question is like, how much do you penalize a week 1 game against?
This will be interesting.
Maybe I don't know.
Their third to last game of the season, they played the Detroit Lions. Or they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Lions play the Pittsburgh Steelers. How many teams run to the right against the Pittsburgh Steelers? Very few.
Not many.
This will be interesting. This could be huge for the Protector of the Year award.
It could.
It could be. It could be. I'm caving and I'm looking at PFF grades. Quentin Nelson is first amongst guards by 8.4 points.
Oh my God.
And Sewell is first amongst tackles by, is that 8.7?
So, man.
If you believe their grading, you'd say those are the two guys having like especially good seasons, but offensive line grading can be rough. So I'm not really.
We know that. That is still a ridiculous gap.
Yeah. The grading can be rough, and yet still they are respecting Nelson. So maybe that means, they really are especially good.
How do they feel about like Dawkins?
Dawkins is way too low. Dawkins is way too low on this tackle list. He's below Spencer Brown. He's below Alaric Jackson. He's below Aquanu. I'm still scrolling.
Ooh.
My heart broke when you said I'm still scrolling.
Yeah. Where is he's 26th. I don't know. I don't think he's really amongst tackles. I think he's having a better season than Charles Cross, guys. I think he's having a better season than Zach Tom. Yeah. Those things.
26th among tackles.
Matt, you need to push the Damian Lewis agenda here.
He was a little banged. He's not better than Nelson.
No, but he's having a ridiculously good year. You could probably like, I don't know. He's having his
second
best year.
team all pro push you could make for like he should really be in the Pro Bowl. That's doable.
Oh yeah.
The thing is that when they were running big, all the love went to Dowdle.
Yeah, I think him and Miners and Nelson have been the best guards this year.
I could get down.
Maybe Kevin Dotson. Kevin Dotson's been really good too. But anyway, that does it.
That does it for the Stay Hot locks and the Protector of the Year. I'll run through the locks one more time just so everyone knows just how crazy these locks are going to be this week. Matt has 8 points. He's locking the Packers and the Rams. I have 8 points. I'm locking the Chargers and the Lions. Theo has 9 points. He's locking the Ravens, the Colts, the Patriots, the Jaguars, and the Bears. He wants it all. He wants to separate himself early. I don't think he's had a lead all season, so he's trying to take advantage while...
I think I may have week 1. I think I may have won like week 1 or 2.
Well, you locked the Ravens over the Bills. You definitely didn't have the lead after week 1.
That's right.
But you might have like week 2 or 3, I could see. But yeah, we'll see, man. Maybe you'll look like the genius. Maybe, I don't know. You are notorious for locking a bunch of teams, so we'll see how that turns out. But thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Stay Hot. It's been an absolute blast. Hope you all have a wonderful Halloween weekend. I know some people celebrate like the weekend before also, but Halloween's on a Friday this year. I'm going to hope for some kids to trick or treat, and because I didn't have any the last 2 years. And yeah, until next time, as always, from your favorite fellas here at Stay Hot, we will catch you on the flippity flop.